Hi, I'm Tom, and this is Culture Chap. The Edinburgh Fringe Festival, the largest theater festival in the world, has just ended, and I'm hearing a lot of stories. People had a wonderful time. The vendors did well, the theaters did well, people had a great time, but it's getting bigger and bigger, and planning ahead is the way to go. Whether you're a performer or just a visitor, planning ahead is what you must do. Now, some people I know, they get their tickets to attend, their plane tickets, their hotel tickets, their Airbnb things 6 months in advance. You might think that's too early, but it's not. Some people I know who go year after year, as they leave, they book the next year. That's smart. 9 months, 6 months in advance, that's what you should do, especially for accommodations. You may have a friend that said, we went to Edinburgh, we had a wonderful time, our Airbnb was $50 a night, and you think that's a deal. But that same Airbnb will probably be about $220 a night, and that's the difference. You should plan ahead financially, you should plan ahead airline-wise, you should plan ahead travel-wise. Very, very crowded, but still worth going, of course. If you're a performer, planning ahead is essential. Where you're going to stay, how long it takes you to get there, what you're bringing with you, and the venue that you're at. Some venues, the turnaround time between shows is 15 minutes. So you can't bring an extensive set. It's mostly about costumes and props and what you can bring easily and what you can get through the crowds easily. So there's a reason you don't see, giant feather headdresses at the Fringe Festival performing because they're too hard to get through the crowd. So be economical. Also, as an attendee, when you're planning out your day, you should plan for something geographically close to each other. Now, what I mean is I had someone I saw online who was attending something at the Festival Theater, which is a wonderful place. And they said, I'm going to go to St. Cecilia's Hall, which is a beautiful museum of vintage instruments and has a concert hall. And they said on the map, it takes 5 minutes. Well, not during Fringe time. The way to get to St. Cecilia's Hall is not just looking at a flat map. You need to take your phone and hit walk to see how to get there. Now you may be confused, especially getting there, because it may take you a roundabout way. But St. Cecilia's Hall, as opposed to the Festival Theater, is down. So the Festival Theater is at one street, and St. Cecilia's Hall, although it looks like it's down the street, is actually in the lower part of the city. You may know it as Cowgate, although there's different names for it. But you need to go up to the Royal Mile and come back down a side street to get to it. You may not want to do that if you're cutting close between shows. Sometimes, we have a half an hour between shows isn't enough. A 5-minute walk during the Fringe, if you have to go up to the Royal Mile and go through the crowds, can take a long time. What if you have to use the facilities? What if you need to eat something? So give yourself time to do that, even though geographically it looks close on the map. A better thing they should have done is go from the Festival Theater across the street to the Surgeons Hall Museum. Yes, they play in museums. The plays and musicals and everything happening at the Fringe play everywhere. So walking across the street to the Surgeon Museum, wonderful, easy. Could take you some time because it is a museum and you might get distracted by the exhibitions. I myself would not be distracted in the Surgeons Hall. It's a little gruesome for me, but it could be fascinating for you. If you have to go across the street and you use the facilities, everybody else may have the same idea. Half an hour between shows, it's risking it. An hour between shows, that's more realistic. But do them geographically close to each other. And plan all this out. Plan and look up where you're going for the next show, especially because some things have similar names. The Underbelly has many locations. So just seeing Underbelly, you may not know exactly where you're going. It may be far away from each other. So figure out each show, where it's located, how quickly you can get there, and give added time because there are crowds everywhere. Now in the doobly-doo, the down below description, I'm going to put two YouTubers who have incredible resources and incredible information about going to the Fringe. The first is Clan Brunford. Now he actually goes to the Fringe, he shows you, he walks around, but he also has different things in his channel like where are the best vegetarian restaurants? Where are the best restaurants, period. Now, that helps you plan out where you're going and where you need to eat. And if those places are too crowded, what's along that same street that you could go to? The other one is Kat at KhakiBot. She has many videos on KhakiBot's guidebook. She interviews some people from the Fringe. She goes to the Fringe. She talks about past shows and past locations. And they're both telling you the same thing I'm telling you, which is some shows can be far away from each other. Plan accordingly. All right, I'm gonna link those down below, and I'll see you next time where we're gonna talk about theater, the Fringe, travel, all kinds of things. Thank you.